This is the watch collection of 7-time Formula One world champion, Lewis Hamilton. I think for this video's sake, for the diehard Lewis fans, we'll say 8. In this video, we're going to break down all the watches Lewis has collaborated on over the years, as well as the watches he wears during race weekend, and the watches he chooses to wear off the grid. And the watch I think he'll be wearing in 2025, now that news broke he'll be driving for Scuderia Ferrari come the next season. But we'll get to that later in the video. Before we get started, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Now, Forbes estimates Lewis's net worth of $300 million. And when he begins his drive for Ferrari, his contract is reportedly $100 million a year. So with all that cash, he certainly has the lifestyle to match that's not just in his watches. Like his $20 million cherry red Bombardier Challenger jet, to a penthouse in Tribeca that costs a cool $40 million, to an insane car collection of a $5 million LaFerrari, to a Pagani Zonda that he reportedly sold for $10 million. And with a passion for fashion that he certainly loves to put on display, Lewis also has a huge passion for timepieces. That certainly lives up to his high speed and luxury lifestyle. In 2013, he began his decade-long plus partnership with watch brand IWC, that, if you're not familiar, stands for International Watch Company. Since then, they've collaborated on 3 different limited edition pieces together. Their first watch that they collaborated on was this IWC Engineer chronograph, reference IW3 79602, that launched in 2014 and was only limited to 250 pieces. It's made out of titanium, has a flyback chronograph function, and today's market value puts this watch at around $8,500. His next collaboration piece with IWC certainly showed a progression in his personal style and function. This watch here was the Big Pilot's Watch Perpetual Calendar, reference IW5 03002, that released in 2019 and was limited to only 100 pieces. This watch is made out of a black ceramic casing and has rose gold accents, as well as a rose gold crown and caseback with a rotor displaying Lewis's logo. The market value on this watch right now is $75,000. In his latest collaboration, Lewis aimed to create a watch that matched the high-profile fashion events he would attend. He was quoted saying, "I wanted the watch to be extra special to match occasions as unique as these," referring to the Met Gala. And so they created the Portugueser Tourbillon retrograde chronograph that exudes luxury and precision with its platinum casing, a teal dial that sports his logo, as well as being adorned with 12 dazzling diamonds. As a Formula One driver, Lewis knows the importance of precision, so they included a tourbillon movement. This piece is limited to only 44 pieces and has a retail price of $170,000. When it comes to race weekend, you can find him wearing many other watches by IWC. Like this Pilot's Watch chronograph, the Mercedes-Benz AMG Petronas Edition. That's the first watch made by IWC specifically for the Mercedes Formula One team. It features a titanium casing, turquoise blue accents, and a Miami pink rubber strap. Personally, I'm a huge fan of this watch. I think it pops on the wrist and I'd love to have one in my collection. IWC, if you're watching this video, please send me this watch. I'll wear it in every single YouTube. Please, 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 please. You can find these on the market for around $7,500. Here he's wearing the Big Pilot's Watch Perpetual Calendar Top Gun Edition. That's called the Mojave Desert and comes in this tan colored ceramic casing with a market value of $30 grand. If you're into F1, I'm sure you've seen this photo before. Here, Lewis rocked 3 watches all at the same time, the Mercedes AMG Petronas Edition, the Mojave Desert, and this black dial Big Pilot that will run you around $8,000. Here he's wearing another Big Pilot Top Gun Edition Perpetual Calendar, but this time it's in a black ceramic casing with red accents that will run you around $18,000. Now, one of my favorite watches from IWC that you can often find him wearing is this IWC Big Pilot Top Gun Edition Perpetual Calendar, but in a white ceramic, called the Lake Tahoe, that retails for $41,000, but market price is closer to $50 grand. This isn't the only white ceramic IWC that Lewis has worn. He's also worn another version of the Lake Tahoe, but not a perpetual calendar, but a chronograph version that you can find priced on the market for around $11,000. If you're wondering what's on my wrist today, it's nothing crazy. Take a guess. It's a Tudor Black Bay 58. It's a good watch. Unfortunately, I don't have an IWC to go with this video, but continue to watch my YouTubes and maybe one day I will. One thing about Lewis Hamilton is whether on or off the track, he's a big advocate for social change, and this piece certainly represents that for him. Here he wears what is the IWC BLM Ceratanium, that's a perpetual calendar with a black ceramic casing, as well as the bracelet with a dial that's adorned with the BLM logo. Now, this was a limited edition piece by IWC, and whether you agree or disagree, don't get all crazy in the comments. Okay? All I'm doing here is just showcasing that he's worn it. But one thing to note that I do find pretty interesting is I've yet to see him wear this watch in quite a while. Also, I've yet to see one of these anywhere for sale on the market, and I can't seem to find it anywhere on IWC's website. At the first Las Vegas Grand Prix in 2023, Lewis Hamilton debuted a new watch by IWC. Called the Pilot's Watch Chronograph, this watch here is the second watch made by IWC for the Mercedes-AMG Petronas F1 team. It comes in a size of 41mm, is made out of ceratanium, and features a black ceramic bezel, and has a retail price of $13,700. Now, Lewis's typical watches off track are a whole different story that IWC is not a part of. He owns this Patek Philippe Nautilus perpetual calendar with a blue dial reference 5740-1G that's made out of white gold and has a market value of $220,000. Here he wears another Patek Philippe Nautilus, but this one here is model 5980. That's a chronograph made out of rose gold and sells for $190,000. As well as one more piece in rose gold he owns, and this one here is a rose gold Rolex Daytona that has a market value of around 50 grand. Now let's discuss what I think Lewis will be wearing come the 2025 season when he drives for Scuderia Ferrari. Ferrari is sponsored by watch brand Richard Mille, and their drivers Carlos Sainz usually wears this RM6702, and Charles Leclerc has been wearing one as well, but as of recently he's been wearing a titanium 7201. I'm super interested to see what Lewis is going to be wearing come the 2025 season. If I had my best guess, I think it's going to be some sort of iteration of the 6702. I really hope he's able to collab with Richard Mille and make a piece specifically for him. I have a funny feeling though that the future partnership could go the way that Rafa Nadal's did, where they create these very limited exclusive pieces, like Nadal's 2704 that cost way over $1 million. But until then, out of these watches he's worn with IWC, as well as his personal collection, which would you choose? Let me know in the comments, as well as what you think he'll be wearing when he drives for Ferrari. And don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next week.